he complimented you so well on your character, your knowledge of the game, how well respective you were to everyone and yourself, but you're telling me, Priest, that this guy was a screamer, right?
Oh, yes, he was a screamer.
And so, at at what point did you open up the floodgates on Priest? Because maybe he just wasn't saying enough back to you because he was so reserved or so short. Or was it maybe just a play that wasn't executed correctly? But do you remember one good time you gave it to Priest, and what were the circumstances?
Well, you know, I guess one of the things you don't remember is many of the moments of screaming and helter skelter, craziness. Um, and one of the things I think is important for me, and that is, I try to be, even with the energy and passion that I have about the game. My wife says it often, and that is, I try not to be negative in my communication, but I can be very demonstrative. I can be very passionate
Mhm.
in my voice. Um, Now, I will say this. That's where Priest, in trying to get him to respond, I could be passionate. But I have to tell you, one of my favorite moments was my head football coach was a very frustrated guy at particularly our first season in 1999, and Priest had just come through a hamstring injury and was finally back out on the field, and so we had this anticipation of being having this dynamic running game going in this game, and of course my boss had moments of frustration, and a lot of times people put all the pressure on the runner, and Priest will tell you, just like any runner will, is that a runner can be great if the offensive line can be at least be efficient, and if the offensive line's not efficient, it's hard to be a great runner. You're really left on your own, and that's the real challenge here. So Priest had one of these moments where it was hard to run the football. And of course, my boss, being as demonstrative and personality as Brian Billick is, makes
Yes.
a couple of comments that are fairly negative about his running back, Priest Holmes, which obviously reflects back on me personally. So I'm struggling with all this. And Priest has decided that he's leaving the field at this point, and he wants to leave the field because he doesn't like the way he's being treated by the head football coach. Then there were some very cute remarks. So Priest leaves the field, and he's frustrated. Um, and yeah, and it's a tough day out there, to being honest. And over the headphones, my offensive coordinator calls a play that only Priest Holmes can run this play, and I need Priest to go back on the field, and so I go, Priest, you got to go back out there. And Priest looks at me just as stern as he could, and he said, no. And I mean, like, absolutely, I'm not going. And I go, Priest, now I'm like, I'm animated. You have to go.
Uh-huh.
You have to get out there right now. Now, it's the cotton picking 40-second clock, and it's ticking right
Yep.
away.
Yes.
And Priest is looking at me, and he is irate. He is so tired of hearing all this negative language at him directed toward him. So he is like, no. And finally, I go, Priest, you got to go. And I point to the field, and I don't know what triggered, but he turned around. He runs right back out on that football field. He barely gets in the huddle. They break the huddle. It's a play action pass. Priest sneaks out the backside of the formation, runs down the sideline. The quarterback rolls out in the opposite direction, and lo and behold, Priest is wide open. He throws the pass all the way down the field. Priest catches it, weaves through two players, scores the touchdown, spikes the ball so hard that the ball flips into the stands.
Oh,
Then
man.
he takes off his helmet and spikes his helmet. The chin strap goes flying, earpieces, everything goes out of the helmet. And now he's running back down the sideline. And my boss, Brian Billick, he is so happy we scored this touchdown. He's running down the field with his arms open wide to Priest. And Priest is looking at him like with eyes like laser beams. So much that Brian takes about 5 steps toward him, then turns around and reverses direction and goes and hugs somebody else. I look at Priest. Priest is he's ready to tear somebody apart. I'll never forget it as long as I live. Oh, it was one of the most amazing moments in football. Really, really, really incredible.
Can't wait to dig up this highlight. Now, Priest, what happens after this? What came with Spike in your helmet? Did you get in trouble for this?
Yeah, so then it was obviously a fine to remove your helmet, and
Yeah, right,
you have
right.
to remove your helmet. So I'm not thinking
It
this.
was,
I'm still
it
caught up,
was.
like Matt Simon says. I'm so caught up in terms of how I feel
Yes.
right now. I'm in the moment. I'm frustrated. Anyways, I snatched that helmet off. I slam it on the ground. I'm just like, I'm mad.
Yeah,
I'm just mad.
yeah.
I'm pissed. And so, again, I know it's just all part of football, and being excited and stuff like that. But I was pissed. And so, anyways, you don't know then that you're going to get fined, right?
Right. Well, you're in the moment anyway. You're not conscious of that. Yeah.
It's not till I get to back to the locker room, and then my linemen are coming to me, and they say, "Man, a hell of a catch, man, way to score that. I know you were pissed, but you will be fined in the morning." And I'm just like, wait a minute. And I'm just in my 3rd season. I'm still a free agent,
Yeah.
undrafted guy.
Checks are huge.
Came in the hard way. I'm getting the minimum. And even at that time, it was something to be proud of, but still, comparing apples to apples, you know what I mean? It was something different, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, sure enough, Monday comes and I look at my check, and in the league, you don't get a chance to
like fight it.
You can fight it.
Okay.
But you're gonna fight it after the money's already gone.
Sure.
Know what I mean?
Oh, right.
So it's one of those things.
So they take the money, ask questions later.
Yeah, they take the money, definitely. So there's a deduction line, and so it's funny, but I think the linemen at that time, I had some great guys, and it was one of those things where they like, man, don't worry about the fine, man. We'll help you out. So
Nice.
I was a young guy. They knew my frustrations, obviously. Coach Simon definitely spoke on it. But even when I think back to that game, I still remember that catch just like yesterday. Because just the frustrations that that I had going through that league. So, Coach, you summed that up pretty well. I've never heard anyone talk about that play quite as exciting. But like I explained,
I remember the whole thing. Remember the whole thing.
Coach Simon, he was
you to go back in the game.
He was one that was very passionate.
Yeah.
Very
you looked
passionate.
at me, no.
He must have been.
You're the only guy who can run this play. Go.
Veins must have been coming out of his head, like just.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I love the part too when you're coming back to the line where your teammates are, and you and Coach Billick like see each other, and it's a quick like going the other way.
Oh yeah, it was frustrations. Yeah.
So funny. Oh, well, this all makes sense now as to why you answered the question you did during the live show.
That's right.
I finally drug it out of you. There's some more context now. I get it. So how much did that helmet cost you? What was the fine on that? Do you remember?
I was lucky, in today's time, that fine would probably be close to, 20,000, 25,000, something like that. But I think it was anywhere between $25,000 to $5,000.
Holy cow, 2,500 to 5,000.
Yeah, 2,500. Yeah, 2,500 to 5,000.
And this helmet, and Matt, if you're correct, this helmet bounces up into the or the football did, I guess. So the fan obviously got to keep the football and stuff.
He spiked that thing so hard that it went. I mean, he must have hit it right on the point, but that thing went ricocheted right into the second row.
Yeah, Hilarious. It was one of those things where I was hot.
That's amazing. We got to find the person who caught that football.
Yeah.
Give a nice high five. Oh man, I love that story. Thank you for sharing that, Matt. That's amazing. And
you bet.
Look, passionate on all sides, man.
Yeah.
But you got the job done. You got the 6 points. Now, did you win that game? Was that
we definitely won that game. Yeah.
That was definitely
touchdown,
that was
or?
definitely that was definitely one for the win.
That game.
Breaking news from Bet365. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, do you have a gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only, 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, and select parishes in Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.